Gary McDermott has been on today and he's asked me to pass on well wishes to a young Leeds forward, Brad Singleton. Brad is in hospital in Barrow tonight, and all the Rhinos staff and everyone at the club wish you a very speedy recovery, Brad, and all the very best as well from all of us here on Sky Sports. The Rhinos with it all to do in this second half. Sinfield gets us underway, and Crusaders, with the words of their coach ringing in their ears and a little spring in their step, can they keep it going in this second half?
Well, if they show the same enthusiasm that they offered in that first stanza, yes, they can. It's be a bit of a safety first. They'll just utilise the big forward, try to get a good kick and chase, which has been excellent in the first half.
Enthusiasm is certainly getting them through so far.
Good run from Chan. Ooh, that looked a touch forward there to Thackeray.
Hold it. Go.
Last tackle here for Crusaders. Inevitably the kick down the middle. Watkins is underneath it for the champions. And into the side in place of Brent Webb injured, and Brian McLennan said he's an excellent kick returner, is Callum Watkins. Now Ryan Hall.
Move, Jordan.
He plays the ball to Diskin. Diskin misses out a couple and finds Lauatiti.
I think you find in the second half that Brian McLennan, the Rhinos coach, would say, OK, let's start getting this ball out wide. It's been, well, shall we say, unusual for a Rhino side to be playing a lot of the channel down the middle, but when you've got this big fella, Greg Eastwood, I suppose you've got to utilise him, but the centres and the wingers out wide, they haven't had much opportunity.
Good kick, great kick from Maguire, this hanging in the air. Oh, it's lost, but it was lost backwards, was it? First knock on, the referee says.
I think it might have been Brett Delaney that...
It's head and feet to Leeds.
It's not a surprise. We saw 2 tries in the first half. Both came from kicks. Here's some more pressure on Luke Dyer. The kick's high in the air. He says, the referee, that it's a knock-on initially by the Crusaders in red, and then Leeds knock-on, but it gives them a great platform to attack from here. Scrum feed 10 metres out.
Exactly what Leeds wanted, started the second half. And a chance. And good defence required from the Crusaders against Kevin Sinfield's run. That was Diskin. And here now is Burrow, jinking and teasing the defence. Senior gets it away to Maguire. Maguire, though, can't get away from the tackler low down. Good work by him. It's Diskin once again. Now with Burrow. Burrow trying to jink his way through once more. Well, if the Crusaders can hold out from this situation, they'll take great heart. And it's a kick from Maguire. And Youngquest to the rescue. They do hold out.
Boy, he read it well, didn't he? The full-back was superb there, anticipating the kick. Well, Jamie Jones-Buchanan tried it all over him, but oh, that's a dodgy offload, but they get away with it.
They do get away with it. Let's go down to the sideline. Ben Flower is with Bill.
Yeah, Ben Flower, Welsh international Crusaders squad member on the sidelines, and full of admiration, Ben, for this effort from your teammates.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we can't fault the boys for the first half. They, you know, just working really hard, and I think Leeds have come up with a few errors which have helped us along the way. Like,
what about this turnout as well? A fantastic response.
Yeah, definitely. Can't fault the crowd. You know, Leeds are normally the ones with bringing the great crowds along, and you know, hopefully we can match them when we go up there, when we play them at home.
Unbelievable to think that you're here level, toe-to-toe with Leeds Rhinos.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we can't, like I said, like, the boys' effort's been outstanding. Leeds have made a lot of errors, but you know, we've taken our chances, and we're doing really well. And you know, it's going to be a close game to the end.
Thanks, Ben.
No problem. Cheers.
Yes, so it's the best ever crowd that Crusaders have played on, in front of a home support anyway. And well, they're making their presence felt here tonight. That's a nice dab down the line from Youngquest. Work here for Callum Watkins to do. Work here for Watkins to do, and he does it as well. But they pile in and bring him down in the in-goal area.
Tremendous stuff. Super work. Good kick as well.
Yeah, I'm not called LJ, that's why.
Well, Youngquist came up with the error in the first half that allowed Donald to try, but he's certainly making up for it. Oh, that is good teamwork. And it was a problem. We thought that Brian Noble perhaps only had, what, 3 or 4 weeks with the full squad, and yet they seem to have already got a good understanding.
They've got great enthusiasm. Phil, would it be churlish, would it be wrong of us to say that the conditions tonight are levelling things out? I mean, if you give Leeds forward pass, he thought he was through then, did Peter Lupton.
He got it right.
If you give Leeds, Phil, dry ground in height of summer, they're a different side than we're seeing tonight.
Well, we'll find out, won't we, later in the year when they probably do entertain the Crusaders at home on a fast track. But I think that initially I expected to see this solid performance from the Crusaders. I mean, 11 of the starting players, the Australian ones that you mentioned, average age 27 years of age. They have learned the profession over years, so they didn't need to know too much. The basic principle of putting your opponents under pressure, they've learnt over the last 10 years playing a variety of different clubs, and I think many of them have arrived here now having had several different experiences, moving from club to club over years, and have maybe decided this may be the last chance saloon here. If I'm going to make anything of my career and make a name for myself and have some success, I need to do it here now in the next 12 months, and this is a perfect platform with a fantastic support behind them here from which they could start to play.
Yes, there are possibilities if they can continue like this throughout the course of the season. 8 players tonight have pulled on a Crusaders jersey for the first time, and they forced another error from Greg Eastwood, a New Zealand international, remember.
Well, they're working overtime for each other, that is for sure. Or is it a fingertip in there? Either way, they've got away with it. They expect so much, don't they, from this fella, Greg Eastwood.
Incredible story, you know, when you think that they began life in 2006 in the National League 2, as it was then, at Hemel Hempstead, and they won 50 points to 10, and they came into Super League 12 months ago. It was a year of trial and tribulation for everybody concerned, but this is a new beginning in Wrexham tonight. And well, as I say, there are some new faces no doubt in the crowd here this evening watching rugby league live for the first time. And I think what they've seen over the opening 48 minutes, they might be tempted to come back, and that is the object of the exercise here. It's all right to start with the 10,500. Remember, Paris Saint-Germain did it 1996, the very first night.
Well, that was nearly 20,000, wasn't it?
It was 17,500 odd.
That should be a knock-on, and it is, and I think you'll find it was Diskin that ripped it out. Oh, he's giving it the other way. Thackeray's not too happy. Look at this. Looked to me as though there was a fingertip by Diskin. Thackeray cannot believe it. Most prop forwards look that way at the officials.
Thackeray, of course, he played for Leeds. And he had 34 appearances in 06 and 07.
I mean, he is a high-impact player. He's come up with some amazing runs. If there's a criticism about his game, he has a lot of loose carries, is what people within the game talk. He will come up with those errors more often than the typical prop, and I think that's something that this year Brian Noble, John Sharp, Iestyn Harris will work on with him. He needs to retain possession better when he goes into that collision.
Jamie Jones-Buchanan for the Rhinos.
Well, I think most of the Rhinos fans that have travelled here, they'll be thinking that they really haven't stamped their authority to say that they are the champions. And I reckon Brian McLennan has to get the message out there and said, hey, come on, let's step it up somewhat.
Sinfield trying to do that, plays it quickly then to Diskin. Diskin gets it to Maguire. This now is Jamie Jones-Buchanan once again, but 3 in the tackle, hunting him down.
This should be a high kick.
Last tackle here for Leeds, and it is to the air from Burrow looking for Ryan Hall. He palms it back, and the ball finds its way to Lauatiti. Too strong, Lauatiti, surely.
Great work.
No, he's not scored. He's been held up.
Unbelievable work there. Look at the size of this man, Lauatiti, and yet they spin him around. Oh, that is wonderful stuff. Adam Peake has been impressive, you know, for the Crusaders tonight.
Tremendous work in defence, that was.
Well, if the Crusaders are going to win this game, then it's plays like that that you look back on. It's not necessarily the people who score the tries or kick the goals, but it's plays like that are very, very special in this game. You'd expect a man like Ali Lautiti to be far too strong there. That was just tremendous defence, and it was tremendous online defence and good defending of the high kick as well.
Sean, do you think the Crusaders are a winter team? Remember last year they played St Helens down in, I think it was nearly a deluge in Bridgend, and it was a 4-0 victory only for St Helens that night. They seem to like it when it's a bit chilly, a bit snowy, a bit rainy.
Well, they actually beat us, Salford, at Bridgend last year too, in conditions very similar. Not similar to tonight, but similar in terms of the wet weather, very sticky ground, very windy, blowy. And they do, but look, I think they're a side now that this side that I'm looking at play tonight is actually quite experienced. They've got a lot of players there that have played in big matches. They seem to be working very well for each other, and I think they're a side that will actually threaten a lot of teams. I hope they're not just a winter side. We actually play them in a couple of weeks' time, so I assume the conditions will be very similar.
Well, Salford are a summer team. And the coach certainly is. You like the sunshine, don't you?
I'd prefer it, that's for sure.
I think we all would. It's a chilly night here.
Don't worry, we're going to get a really red-hot summer this time.
I hope so, after all this winter we've had. Blimey. This is Ryan Hall.
First real opportunity we've seen from Ryan Hall. It's a nice long pass, and that's what Leeds have got to do a little bit more of.
Great kick from Burrow. It was measured, that. Delaney, he couldn't take the ball in, though, under pressure wide. But Burrow, he had the chance then to look up, and he just plonked the ball almost on a sixpence for Delaney. But Delaney couldn't hang on to it.
And again, enthusiasm in that defensive line. To say that they've only had a few weeks together, and it is quite amazing that they are not only matching it, but they're certainly getting across the advantage line, and yet time and time again on their sets of 6, they're getting to the halfway line. As I say, last season Leeds were one of the best sides in Super League to prevent the opposition from doing that, and yet the new boys, Crusaders, are doing it with ease.
He's got them there for a forward pass, but the man who put the kick in, Vince Mellors, then the centre, he was only signed 2 weeks ago from the Auckland Vulcans.
Yeah, touch forward.
If you notice in the last couple of minutes, there's a massive difference between the speed with which Crusaders are getting up to play the ball and that from Leeds, and a lot of that's to do obviously with Leeds' defensive technique and strength. But I think as the game wears on here now, they're starting to suffocate the Crusaders. They're pushing them on backwards slowly and putting them under more pressure.
Burrow gets the ball away to Callum Watkins.
Oh, that was a high slap right into the face. Got away with it there, Michael Witt.
Maguire again. Lautiti trying to go up the middle and bully his way through the Crusaders' defence.
Rather surprising that throughout this game, Lautiti, okay, may not be the best conditions for ball handling, but let's face it, Lautiti is world famous for trying to offload in the tackle. But Brian McLennan, the coach, utilised him as more of a battering ram so far. They need to perk up in the forwards, that's for sure, Leeds.
Little signal behind the back then from Sinfield. Plan move coming up maybe from Leeds. Here's Maguire. Bounces off one.
Movement, hold it, Frank. Well done.
Diskin gets it away to Sinfield. Stabs the ball along the ground. It's free.
There's a knock on anywhere, I think.
He said it went back. Gareth Rayner to the rescue for Crusaders.
No, I think there's a knock on there by Brett Delaney as well. It wasn't a back kick, but that shows you the respect that Leeds have for this Crusaders side.
Mark Bryant, then he nearly juggled up and lost it. That's a great run though from Luke Dyer.
And listen to this crowd. A lot of people criticise the fact that they've moved from the south of Wales up here, but we talked about it before the kick-off, didn't we, Eddie? That went backwards. That's good refereeing by Ben Thaler.
He got away with that, Frank Winterstein.
Just getting to that point, and in fact, it's a professional game. You've got to make sure that it's viable financially, and that, if they stick to this and they play like this...
Oh, that's a mistake. That's a bad mistake. Kick under pressure. wit this time, slicing the ball out on the full.
And that's the sort of thing that Phil Clark was just alluding to. The signs are starting to appear now in terms of where the Crusaders are starting their set and finishing their set. They've really only been able to get to halfway so far in this half, in what, 14 and a half minutes. They haven't played down in Leeds' end at all, and that's a worrying sign. Leeds haven't really come up with the answers yet, but they are grinding away and grinding away. And it's only a matter of time, really, before a side with the Leeds Rhinos' capabilities will take advantage of this field position.
And I think that you've also got to look at the stats in that first half. You know, Leeds came up with 6 errors and the Crusaders only 2, and it's going to be swinging around as this game carries on.
Here's Sinfield now, and Maguire up the middle. Desperate tackle from the skipper, Ryan O'Hara.
2 drives and then start getting the link. They've got to become a little bit more confident now, the champions.
Maguire disappears under that challenge. Diskin and Lauatiti trying to spin and thinking maybe of the offload. The Crusaders trying to slow the play, the ball down. Burrow, little Rob Burrow. Just short of the line on the last. Diskin is the dummy half. Back he comes to Sinfield. He'll hoist the kick wide. And he finds Scott Donald. There's a knock on. First, I think, by Leeds. It'll be the turnover.
Well, it's a good job that he didn't allow play on, because Greg Eastwood comes from an offside position. Great work, though, isn't it? I mean, they're so enthusiastic.
Bryant will drive it forward. Missed just one game last year. The Good Friday defeat at Huddersfield. And there's the skipper again. Played for New South Wales in 2004, Ryan O'Hara. Arguably the best man last year. He started all 28 games. They're over the halfway line, and that's tackle number 4. Lee gets the ball away. Here is Chan.
Oh, that should be a penalty. Had 2 goes at it there, Luluai.
I think it's same both sides, Steve. There's been a bit of holding down in the tackle from both teams tonight. Dyer as well. Oh, and a little knock on. That's a shame for Frank Winterstein.
Players need something to get excited about, though, Eddie. The Crusaders have been doing a lot of hard work to work out of the half. To give them something here now. You must switch your mind out and say we have to work even harder now, but we don't have the ball. We can't allow Leeds to roll forward in possession.
And an enthusiastic PA announcement.
Well,
Sorry if you can't hear Phil and Steve-O, Sean and I, but he's a noisy boy.
He gets them going, though, and then they're loving it, I'll tell you now.
10,334, I think, is the message that he was giving us. That's the attendance here tonight. Record attendance at home for this Crusaders club. Here's Eastwood.
Well, we're getting to that point into the final quarter, and
that's a crazy offload from Greg Eastwood.
It certainly is, but the most disturbing thing about it, as for the Brian McLennan, the Rhinos coach, is the fact that there was nobody there. You know, they're not lacking the support. I mean, they are lacking the support there. I'm taking nothing away from the Crusaders' effort, but that man there, Brian McLennan, he must be really concerned, because they're really not clicking.
Crusaders are, and we're approaching the 3-quarter mark of this match, the hour mark, and they're looking inventive.
Well, they look at the best when Ryan O'Hara and Mark Bryant are on the field, and that's what they are here now. Big kick from the captain.
That's a prop forward. That will fall into the ground.
It's a wicked bounce.
Good job it was Maguire who was first to react, and here he goes. Not the best pass over the top. I think it did flick off a Crusaders player. Here's Maguire now, though. Now Delaney.
Good work, though, by Gareth Raynor. Not only did he come through and get himself towards Maguire, but he realised when that pass went out, he was quick to shut down Donald as well.
Eastwood again.
Now then, will Leeds do a link for a change? Full back, Watkins, will he come through?
Well, here's Burrow. Here is Senior. Stands in the tackle, gets the ball away to Sinfield. Sinfield running flat, then he straightens it up, goes down under the challenge from Adam Peake. Still plenty of tackles in the bank. It's Luluwai. Luluwai was fed by Diskin. 1, 2, 3, 4 red jerseys around him. Hold him up right underneath the sticks. It's Diskin again. And back it comes to Sinfield. And Sinfield will stab the kick to the in-goal area. And Gareth Rayner had no chance of getting out of jail there.
And again, respect by the Rhinos, in as much that they're going on the 4th. They thought they'd try to change the option. They've waited to the last on most occasions. Sinfield said, let's try on the 4th, but that's a good chase. Nowhere for the winger to go. Good work by Danny Maguire. There's done many opportunities. But Rayner got himself and then got across again.
Tell you something though, Steve, the coaching staff of the Crusaders will be absolutely delighted with this defence. The steel and the grit, the attitude, the passion they're showing, they're working off the ball. A side like Leeds Rhinos would have broken most teams down by now. The sheer weight of possession they've had in this 20 minutes of the second half, you'd expect them to be on the scoreboard, and they as yet haven't been able to.
Has it surprised you that Brian McLennan has not changed the tactics? I've been calling for a little bit more wide play.
Well, I don't know. Maybe there's a confidence factor here with this team. They look like there's another loose ball, another drop ball, and they've come up with too many errors.
Ryan Bailey, the culprit on that occasion. Delaney with the tackle. And this is Mellors. As I say, signed just 2 weeks ago. He did play in the NRL with New Zealand Warriors 6 years ago. They have a penalty.
Well, they needed that, did the Crusaders, because in the second half they've struggled to get anywhere near the Leeds line. That's the one thing that their coach Brian McLennan will be happy with, is that they are getting back in numbers, Leeds. But this probably will be the first opportunity to get anywhere really near having a chance to score a try. Kick it in the corner, that'll...
Do you know what? A kick at goal wouldn't have been a bad call there for Michael Witt.
No, the wind is at his back, wasn't it?
He would have kicked from that distance in rugby union for the last 12 months.
Good drive forward again. That was the skipper. And here come Crusaders in the shape of Lloyd White. It's Tommy Lee who's the dummy half. He finds Lincoln Withers. Withers then gives it to Michael Witt again. Good hands. Chances here for Trimarchi. I thought that was illegal.
Well, I thought you couldn't lift.
I thought you couldn't do that anymore.
Well, Michael Witt just having a little word with the official Ben Thaler, but this looks to me as though it's a gang tackle pushed across.
That's a drag.
And
the referee says he'd already lost the ball. That was the referee's opinion. Whether it's right or wrong here, he thinks he's lost the ball forward there in the tackle before he's lifted and carried over the side.
I think he's lifted and carried over the side, and that's the reason why he's lost the ball.
Yep. And a little down in my mind, Rob Burrow has got the leg up. Unless I've been reading the wrong ruling, or the interpretation as it is called.
Well, it's the new interpretation for 2010. And that was the first example that we've seen, and I honestly thought that now in the new season was illegal. But
I'm
anyway.
not arguing, it's a new season, Eddie. I'm not arguing, I'm with you. It won't last.
Will this Crusaders effort last? We're in, that looked forward.
Yeah.
We're in the crucial stage of the match for them now.
He's all right, he's all right.
Badiris, that's good running from him. He gets it away to Sinfield. Sinfield in turn gives it wide to Ablett. Here is Delaney, and that was forward.
Yep. Well, he's not missed that one.
I think this one this side was. I'm not sure about that one that side, but...
Well, this is forward.
That's not forward, Steve-o.
Of course it is.
Not the last one.
I knew he'd fall out soon, but I
was
thought
never forward, that one.
Brett Delaney was stood in front.
Same again, guys. Make sure
He picked it up well.
Make sure back, Callum. Ryan Ebbs in, both Ryans.
Well, it's going to get to a point where Brian McLennan is going to be left with no alternative but to just say, hey, listen, we're just not making any headway. We're not making any breaks down the middle.
You're a bit snappy tonight, aren't you? Here is Ryan O'Hara again.
Well, I've been waiting a long time to get my teeth into this game, Eddie. I've missed it.
Listen to the Welsh crowd. Well, they're really giving it some now. They sense a shock. 14 minutes to go, 6-all, toe-to-toe with the champions. The team that finished with the wooden spoon last year. The team that won at Old Trafford last year, and there's nothing between them. Last tackle, though, now for Crusaders. Youngquest. Angle little kick. Well read by Callum Watkins. Gets the ball away.
That's, well,
Here
I've
they
been
come.
calling for it.
Delaney.
He's impressed with this guy.
Maguire's down the line. Maguire with the pace. And he'll go in. Well, Danny Maguire. That's a tremendous Leeds try. That's the try of true champions. A kick to their own line and a little bit of invention, and the ball sped out wide to Maguire, and once the ball reached Danny Maguire, well, there was only going to be one result, and that's the try. And Danny Maguire gets his tally up and running for 2010. Just 13 tries last year, the lowest return since he got into the side 7 years ago. And this is a terrific try from the champions.
Certainly was. Youngquest kick, and watch the offload from Callum Watkins. He thought it might be dangerous, but once he got it out wide to Brett Delaney, this is good stuff. Look at the pace on there. Well, I said get it wide, you might have an opportunity. And I think the writing may well and truly be on the wall. Boy, Leeds needed that. This is superb. How much confidence is shown there? Badeiras, he served Delaney, and as I mentioned before, Delaney has really impressed me. Not only with ball in hand, but his defence is pretty solid. But it's taken something pretty special from this guy, and that was the speed from Danny Maguire.
I think it's also the speed of thought. How many sides, Eddie, in Super League will receive possession near their own try line and think, how can we score now? And that's what Leeds are thinking when they receive the ball. Great kick again from Sinfield.
Yeah, he's a tremendous kicker, isn't he? Kevin Sinfield. So reliable. Remember, he won one game last year, I think it was at Castleford, wasn't it? In the last minute with the last kick, he broke the Tigers' hearts. But let's watch this again. It's worth having another look at.
I think he did that at Wakefield as well, Eddie, but as I say, the opportunity to get it out wide, it was quick thinking from Watkins and the hooker, Danny Badeiras. Well, maybe those 6 points in front now will sort of just relieve the pressure somewhat on the Premiers, the champions Leeds. That'll lift their spirits. You'll see a lot more positive work now. And I'm sure we'll see a lot more links between the likes of Maguire and the loose forward Kevin Sinfield.
Here's Badeiras, good run. This is a test now of the Crusaders' resilience as Sinfield attacks them again, gives it to Lautiti, takes the return, gives it to Senior. And Senior trying to cut inside. He's dropped by Winterstein eventually with a little bit of help. Badeiras once more, last tackle here. Sinfield kick towards the goal area, plucked out of the air, ball's gone forward. Lautiti will score. Oh, the referee wipes it down, gives the try. Lautiti has scored because he's saying that there was a ball steal or a hand in there somewhere, and it came off a Crusaders' hand. Well, 2 tries in as many minutes for Leeds.
Well, it looks as though they're going to negate this, but full credit to them. You take your opportunity. Who was in a good position was the official Ben Thaler. Was it a steal? According to the man with the whistle, yes, it was. And Ali Lautiti, Johnny on the spot.
Oh, it came off Youngquest.
That should not have been given, seriously.
Don't think there's anything wrong with it, Stevie, honestly. Comes off the Crusaders' man here.
Does it come round? Yeah, it does. It comes off him. Well, that's unfortunate for Nick Youngquest.
I think it was an attempt. Look, it's an attempted flicked back by Maguire, and it just bounces off Youngquest, and Lautiti first to react.
Well, it's very fortunate, but I've seen them being given as a knock on, Eddie, but full credit. They got the ball away, and it looks as though it's pretty safe in the back now. It's when you get the rub of the green against you, you know, it's very, very difficult to lift their spirits. Take nothing away from the kick. Sinfield, Maguire did well, and you just see it flick away, and that is play on. But I've seen officials say that's a knock on anyway. But never mind.
Yeah, the ball came back from Maguire's hand and then off the hip of Youngquest. Try is given. 18-6.
You know, when he didn't play at the ball, did he, Youngquest?
No.
If you kick the ball and it ricochets off a player, goes into touch, if you didn't play at it, then you get possession. So there's almost a contradiction in the rules there.
Well, it's on the board, and it's a 12-point advantage as we approach the last 10 minutes of the game. But I think the point is, Phil, he tried to pass the ball backwards, so there's nothing wrong with the pass. It bounced off the hip of Youngquest. Leeds committed no offence, so play on. Lautiti's onside. He didn't even need to give it upstairs to the video referee. We haven't had one tonight, have we? We haven't had a video referee yet. I think he was taken out. Lautiti, by the way, he has just scored his 50th try for the Rhinos. Ablett just had a little swish at Youngquest there in the air. Oh, they've not found touch with this. They haven't found touch with that penalty. And here comes Watkins. Not tackled.
I think the bubbles burst, Eddie, and it's not surprising when you think about it, because they'll be extremely depressed by the stroke of luck that has gone Leeds' way. But that's the reason why they are the champions, Leeds, because you take your opportunities.
Here's Luluai.
As they say, the harder you work, the luckier you get.
Bailey, he'd lost that.
Surely that's a knock-on.
He put that on the ground, lost it, and then picked it up and played it again.
That's a knock-on. That went back, and he's knocked on. Thank you. Come down there and ball.
He's given Leeds head and ball at this scrum.
Well, he places it down, then picks it up. You can't do that, and didn't even play with his foot.
Give it going, guys. Let's on the 10. Let's hold.
You can't put the ball down and pick it back up again.
Last 10.
Well, little things go for you when you're the top side.
Yep.
And little things go against you when you're the bottom side.
Get your arms round him, good. Get in, Kev.
I mean, that was just amazing. No, I don't like the position I put the ball. I'll pick it up and try it again somewhere else.
Here's Senior. He's scored in every one of the Super League seasons so far. Keith Senior, this is Maguire.
Just saying, they've done a good job on Keith Senior, haven't they? They've really worked hard on him.
Ablett, Carl Ablett. A 4-year deal only just signed by Ablett, and he plays the ball there. This is Burrow again. Trying to weave his way away. The ball went backwards. It's Badiris. Now it's Jamie Jones-Buchanan. Diskin. Back to Sinfield. He goes wide to Maguire. Short ball then to Eastwood. Eastwood flicks it away. Oh, good hands from Leeds in these conditions. Delaney, though, is halted. Here's Badiris. Is Sinfield onside? Yes, he is.
Great try.
I don't know why the referee didn't ask the video referee to just take another look at that. But Kevin Sinfield didn't hang around, and Leeds have put this game to bed in the last 12 minutes of the match. Kevin Sinfield with the try. But I'd like to have another look at that again, just see whether Sinfield was onside.
He was pretty confident, wasn't he, Ben Taylor?
Absolutely he was.
He had no hesitation. He was good work, though.
Onside.
It was good work from Badiris, wasn't it?
Great run from Sinfield too, timed to perfection.
And didn't get confused with the two lines either, but nice to see a bit of skill from Badiris. His captain knew exactly what was happening. That's the huge advantage that you have with a team like Leeds. They worked very hard off the field of play on the training paddock just to make sure that all these set pattern moves, and it took something spectacular to turn this game, and of course it was that offload by Callum Watkins that eventuated with Maguire racing the length of the field.
Sinfield is dead-eye tonight with the boot, hasn't missed one yet. 24 points to 6, and from the 64th minute this game has been won with 3 Leeds Rhinos tries. Here's the latest.
Nice piece of vision there from Medeiros, and that's, I suppose, the teamwork. Sinfield aware of what was going to happen. The last 2 tries came through the great field position that they've had, getting down to that strip of land just short of the Crusaders' try line, and then hurting their opponents on the last tackle.
And another player too, Phil, in Leeds Arsenal, in that we talk about the signing of Greg Eastwood and Brett Delaney, and we talk about how they're a stronger looking side, but let's not forget Danny Medeiros. He missed a lot of the season last year, badly broken leg, I think, you know, from memory, I think, and he missed a lot of the season. He is a major player for the Leeds Rhinos. He works so well with Matt Diskin. They both have skills and abilities that are different from each other, even though they handle the number 9 role. And Danny Medeiros has looked in great touch here tonight.
Here he is again, finds Maguire. Maguire gets the offload away to Sinfield. Leeds are coming out with their full set of tricks now. They've just scored, by the way, 18 points in 9 minutes.
And to be fair, Danny Maguire has certainly been instrumental in that. He's worked overtime. They closed him down well in that first half.
Burrow quick on his feet, isn't he?
Yeah.
Sinfield just hoofed that wide. But I think he was offside over there.
I was just going to make the point, Eddie, in this game, and it's amazing how just one try changes a team. Leeds Rhinos now look like they're a different side. This last 20 minutes, and that wonderful bit of skill to break the deadlock of 6-all, and all of a sudden, they just open up and there's confidence and everybody's moving around, the passes are sticking. It's a tremendous thing. It's a wonderful thing to happen for them, but it's a real shame for the Crusaders. You just hope this doesn't turn to be a blowout score. I think 24-6 is pretty fair at the moment, although, you know, you'd argue the Crusaders have been better than that.
Yeah, it's respectable so far for the Crusaders. Here goes Ryan Hall, though, now, who has some speed and who has some strength. And they're just dropping off the tackles a little bit now, Crusaders.
Well, it's daunting, isn't it, when you think the challenge that face every team who will come against Leeds this year. There are 3 players in Super League who've scored 5 tries in a match this so far in their career. You know, Hall, Maguire and Laurititi have all done it, and I think that's the challenge that everyone will face when they play against Leeds. Such strike power across the field.
Let's hope that they have strike power across the field for the 2010 World Club Challenge against Melbourne Storm. It's at Ellen Road on the 28th of next month. Telephone number there and the Rugby League website. That's their address. All the information you need. Here's Maguire, and here's another try for Brett Delaney on his debut.
Great work by Maguire, made the initial break. But I have been, and I've kept saying it throughout this game, that this Brett Delaney is going to make a huge mark on Super League this year. It was a great finish, but the skill factor again from the standoff, Danny Maguire, instrumental in creating that try.
He's got a bit of a bloody nose for his pains by the looks of things, Brett Delaney. He only scored 1 try for the Gold Coast, as you see, in 19 appearances last year. This is his debut in Super League, and he has equalled the tally for 2009 already.
Well, to be fair, he's noted more for being a provider. It was a beautiful planned move. You could see the Maguire that coming in just on the inside.
Peak was very late, and that's why the referee had a word with him.
Beautiful inside pass from Kevin Sinfield. That's a sign of quality. And he gets, oh yeah, Peak. And you could see the look from Delaney and saying, huh.
And there he is, he's immediately been taken off the field. Here's Sinfield, can he add the extras again? No, this time. And there's a touch of blood on the head of Kevin Sinfield as well. Leeds walking wounded, but Bill walking towards a couple of points.
Brett Delaney's the one who's in a real mess, and I'm not sure if that is a result of Adam Peake's challenge. He came in over the top as Delaney was plonking the ball down, but as you can see, Delaney suffered for his points there.
Oh, it is, yeah, it's the elbow.
Well, at the moment, at 28
may...
points to 6, Steve-O, we have the same score exactly as it was across at Headingley just 12 months ago on the opening night. I wonder whether that means the Crusaders will win 3 in 2010. Would they say, or would Brian know? Well, we'd probably ask him on Super League Extra Time when this game's over. I would just wonder what his target is for 2010. Would it be 4 wins? Here's Ryan Hall. Tried to get the ball wide to Senior. Trimarchi was in the way. Here goes Luke Dyer. Now it's Mellors.
Well, I think that Brian Noble perhaps will be looking at, well, the first 60 minutes anyway, or should we say 55. And he'd be quite happy with it if they can play with the same sort of enthusiasm. And let's not forget, they've only had a few weeks training together. This is their first hit out. Leeds have had 3 trial games. And to be fair, I think Brian Noble might be looking at more than just the 3 or 4, but they won't get that if they keep dropping the ball like that. Rocket Trimarchi.
The competition needs the bottom team to win more than 3 or 4 games, Eddie.
Yes,
3 is a backward step for the game last year, and the bottom side need to be better if we want to drive up the standards of the Super League.
You hear to that?
But
I'm sure that Brian Noble will agree with you as well.
They're far better equipped this season, though, Eddie. They've proved that already.
Burrow fires it wide. Eastwood. Eastwood's got some strength, hasn't he? Mind you, he had 3 men around him then. Minute and a half remaining. Maguire. Watkins. Callum Watkins.
That's 4 then. 4, 3. That's 3, move.
Medeiros again. Maguire gives it to Lauatiti. Eventually, Lauatiti stepping through them. Big Lauatiti. He's not going to be stopped this time, is he?
Hold on.
There's the first video referee decision coming up of 2010.
And I think we're starting to see fatigue setting in here. He's carrying players forward towards the line. It'd be amazing if they prevent him from scoring. Now, is the leg going to prevent the ball from touching the ground? We see a red line that's probably now an indication of the try line. The hand's there as well. Does it roll forward? No, it's held up. This will be... I don't think we'll see the try awarded here. And a positive, I think, even though they haven't scored here, they've prevented Leeds from scoring, and that shows that you've got a mental toughness to hang on till the very last minute.
Or is that ball down
No,
there?
I think the hand is still clearly under it. The left hand.
Interesting that Leeds,
is preventing it from
as
going
we
down.
watch this, they are lined up for the play the ball back on the 10-metre line, so they don't think they've scored.
Well, nice to see some honesty in sport then, that Ali Lauatiti's probably admitted, I don't think I grounded it.
There's a leg under it, there's Winterstein's hand under it.
And I think Leeds are preparing for a play the ball, aren't they? 10 metres from the try line.
They are indeed.
Play on.
Well, that's your view. I wonder what the video referee Richard Silverwood makes of it all. He's watched the same pictures you have. Has the try been given? Yes, it has. Second try for Ali Lauatiti. I don't think Brian Noble believes it. So 51 tries now in Leeds colours for Lauatiti.
Well, he's laughing.
I know. I think that
That's
tells
an
its own
admission,
story.
isn't it?
Yeah, that tells the story.
Although he didn't try and cheat, did he? I think he played to the rules, played to the whistle. He's been given the benefit of the doubt. It's an indication of the size and power. We talked a lot about the speed and skill that Leeds have, but Lauatiti, Kirk, Luluai, even Peacock and Burgess, when they're on the field, they are such a big side, Leeds, and you add that to the speed and skills they've got, and they're a difficult side to beat. Well, it doesn't look like it's down, but it's irrelevant now. It's another try for Leeds.
Now, there's a question mark over that one, and I think Ali Lauatiti knows he has been given a massive benefit of the doubt there. It doesn't matter in terms of the result, of course. Leeds were going to win. It just now is the margin of victory. And that makes it 34 points to 6. And that's the way it will end. I must say, Crusaders that gives the indication that it was an easy stroll in the park for Leeds. But Brian Noble, John Sharp and everybody here and everyone who's watching at home will know that for over an hour, Crusaders went toe-to-toe with the champions.
Yeah, they did. What we've all learned out with this sport's an 80-minute game, and you have to be able to play for 80 minutes. You also have to be able to play for 27 rounds, and that's the test that the Crusaders will have. Newly brought together side in a new place, playing against a side who are just look unbeatable at the moment. I'm sure people will beat them throughout the course of the season, but the Leeds Rhinos are a well-assembled squad.
They are a well-assembled squad. Phil made the point that for the good of the competition, the Crusaders have got to win more than 3, and I suppose really for the good of the competition, Leeds have to be brought back to the pack if the rest possibly can. But here's the man who changed the course of the game completely, Danny Maguire. He is the man of the match, and he's with Bill now.
Danny, congratulations. There is a nicely chilled bottle of champagne, courtesy of the sponsors. For an hour, that was hard going, wasn't it?
It was a tough game. Full credit to the Crusaders. Really put on a show tonight in front of the fans. Fantastic atmosphere as well. Conditions are pretty cold, pretty tough, but you know, we showed it in the second half what we're capable of doing. A bit rough in a few areas, but a lot to work on. But you know, pleasing first outing.
That was a cracking breakout try, wasn't it, that you finished off?
Yeah, we probably needed that a little bit. It was under a bit of pressure at that time, and that's the type of thing we're capable of doing with, you know, the quality of players that we've got. So great second half, but a lot to work on, and a lot of credit to the Crusaders.
Well, yes, I mean, they made it tough for you, didn't they? Certainly the first half. And was there a bit of concern at half-time?
Yeah, a little bit. They put a big pack out there tonight, and you know, they played it down the middle really tough, and I thought our forwards fronted up really well today. Fantastic effort from both teams in the conditions, and you know, hopefully another good Super League for us at Leeds, and hopefully the Crusaders will do well this year as well.
Thanks, Danny. Congratulations on the man of the match. Again this season, there's £100 which goes to the Steve Prescott Foundation, courtesy of the sponsors. Another 100 to a charity of your choice, and where's that going to go?
Yeah, that's going to go to the Leeds Men Cap.
Well done tonight, Danny. Well, let's bring in Ryan O'Hara, who is the Crusaders captain this season. And as Danny was saying there, for an hour, you really did make it tough for them.
Yeah, look, I'm disappointed in the result, but the effort the guys put in tonight was fantastic. We hung in there for about 65 minutes, and we looked like we might have got the cash there, but Leeds are a quality side, and they ran away with it in the end, but it gives us something to build on now and something to work on.
Well, as he said, it was that try that really started to unravel it for you when they broke out and went the length of the field, really, and after that, it got away from you.
Yeah, it did. Our kick chase let us down on a few occasions, and I think if we can fix a few of them little trouble areas up, like in the coming weeks, I'm sure we'll have a big improvement.
What about this atmosphere here? Nobody really knew what tonight was going to be like, so this must have maybe exceeded your expectations.
It's fantastic. I think it was 10,000 crowd here, and most of them were supporting us, which was nice for a change. So I think it can really kick off up here in Wrexham, and we're really looking forward to it.
Thanks, Ryan. Wish you the best for the season.
Cheers.
Well, they gave the champions a real run for their money for over an hour. In the end, I think a slightly lopsided scoreline, which disappoints the Crusaders supporters, I'm sure, but 34 points to 6, and I must tell you, the Crusaders left the field to a standing ovation from this crowd of over 10,000. But in the end, an opening night win for the champions again.